for a year now. I went from Brooklyn, New York to Berkeley, California. Very questionable decision. I understand that. Berkeley's a very strange place. Very strange. And I was very worried about my husband. I am married, sorry ladies, and I had to bring him with me. That's when you're married, you bring them. That's like the nice thing. And but I was very concerned. He's like this big, strong, tough dude. Like I'm like, how's he gonna be in Berkeley? He loves it, you guys. He loves it so much, I don't think I can ever get him to go back. And it's changed him. He's like a different person now. When I come home, he wants to check in and see how we're doing emotionally. How are we doing? He cuddles now. I hate cuddling, you guys. It's the worst. He keeps rearranging things. I'll be like, no, honey, that Batman figurine is really nice over the television. Nice job on that one. He started gardening. He gardens like a motherfucker. You do everything like a motherfucker if you're from Brooklyn, just so you know. Also, you do it all day, every day. That's another thing you do if you're from Brooklyn. He gardens so much. He has gardening shoes. Do you guys know that you need special shoes to go outside and judge nature? Well, they're waterproof, so it doesn't get too real. I actually overheard him talking to one of our neighbors about the Blackberry Menace, and I'm at the point now where I'm like, please let that be just a new Marvel superhero movie. Like, I can't handle, oh no, blackberries are killing our crops, good to know. So basically, what has happened, if you put all those things together, since we have moved to the West Coast, is my husband has become a lesbian. That's but I'm in the Bay now, guys. I'm thinking inside a box, apparently, is what I'm doing now. That's what's happening. I'm not going to say that I left New York because I was running from the law, because that would be untrue. I'm a small woman, I'm fine. But there were some things like I didn't know you legally couldn't do, like I didn't know that you couldn't legally drink in a park in New York. Now here's my reasoning before you judge me. No one can afford a backyard in New York. It's very expensive, much like living in San Francisco, right? So let's all just drink in God's backyard, you know, in small ethnic groups, one big happy family, whatever, it's all good. Not all good, guys. It's illegal. I was drinking with 4 of my nice white lady friends in the park. We had fruit in our cups. It was classy. It was a good time. People were drinking all around us. Police saw us, called for backup. That's how I'm not going to share my drink with you, sir. That's how we're doing it. I was outraged when I found out that I had to pay $25 to continue drinking in the park. That is not okay. So I call my husband to tell him, same husband from the last joke. I had one. It's a learning experience. The second one will be better. But called this first husband, told him what was going on. What I didn't tell you about my husband from before is that he's black. That's just true. I'm not bragging, okay? I thought it was going to get quiet and be like, it's my family here, but it's fine, okay? So I call my husband, I tell him this. He is completely silent for like 5 minutes. And then he just screams out, justice! And just hangs up the phone, guys. Yeah, every day is Black History Month in my household. I love it. It is tomorrow's Rosa Parks. It's going to be the best. Just got to get up early to study. I never get told that I look like anybody. Like, best case, sometimes I'll get, oh, you look like my friend. And I have to ask the important follow-up question, is it a woman? And I get like a 60-40 spread on that, so that's fun. Because every woman wants to be told she's handsome, right? That's that strong jaw, good times. But a friend of mine was like, you know what, I'm going to think about this. And he did. He came back to me and he's like, I have figured out who you look like. And I was like, great, let's do this. And he's like, okay, if Joe Pesci. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to feel good about how this ends. It's not going to be like Joe Pesci and Beyonce. Like, that's not what's going to happen. And he's like, you know what? I don't actually care about your feelings. So he kept talking. He was like, if Joe Pesci and Barbara Streisand had a child, this is what would happen. That's hurtful, guys. That's a hurtful thing to say. Not a compliment, right? Worst part, there were like 10 other people in the room, and they thought about it, and they were like, yeah, no, I can see that. Yes, that is what is happening. Yeah, I told that joke at a show one day, and this guy, I'm assuming, was trying to be helpful because he yells out from the back of the room, you look like Anne Frank! Yeah, that actually happened. Now, in that situation, it was completely silent, and I just heard one person go, oh shit. But I took it as a compliment like a published author. Right, anti-Semites! Shabbat shalom. Okay. I love music. I love hip-hop. Hip-hop is my favorite. You guys enjoy hip-hop? You look like a big hip-hop lover. So. Yeah. I know it's not right to admit this. I love R.Kelly. He's my favorite. You look more like you like E40, but it's fine. But I do. I love R.Kelly, and I know I feel trapped in the closet admitting that, but I do love him. I love him because he does what rappers today don't do. He tries. He tries so hard. The man can barely read. He admitted that in an interview, and yet he chooses to use words for a living, you guys. That's amazing. We should all aspire to that. My favorite example, right? He's so good that sometimes he'll just make words up and you want to believe that they're real, okay? So my favorite song, The Zoo, it's about animals. He makes all his own animal noises, which I appreciate. He can fly in elephants for 10 seconds, but no, he's like, I got this. At one point in the middle of the song, he refers to himself as a sexosaurus. That's not a thing, guys. There's no sexosaurus. Do you know what that actually is? It's my spirit animal. I aspire to be a sexosaurus. I'll tell you one more thing before I go. I'm always looking for things to make life a little less uncomfortable, party tricks, that sort of thing. I found my new favorite party trick. You guys can use it. I found it at a strip club where you should always find these things. I went into a strip club in the Bronx and I sat down at the bar immediately because that's where I feel safe. And this woman, who I assume was a stripper, I'm not positive, came up to me immediately and she's like, "Aren't you gonna tip me?" And I was like, "You didn't do anything." And she just the evilest eye. Like, I know they call it side eye, but it was just eye. It was just straight on eye. She never broke eye contact, and she turned her body ever so slightly, made her booty clap twice. I can't do it. Don't look down. She turns back to me and she goes, "How about now?" And I was like, "Do you take credit card?"